Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Rakwakadash. I want to say peace and salutations to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and all the hopeful elect, and Elder Yahweh and Elder Sagalah, and all the hopeful elect. I am Servant Ariel Yasharala, and I'm going to do this lesson titled Stay Humble. And I'm going to start with the book of Psalms 27, verse 5 through 9, and it reads, "For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock." So that's our hope and that's our faith. With all this Jacob's trouble and all the calamities that are going to come upon this place, this is our prayer, our faith, and our hope that the Lord hides us in his pavilion under the shadow of his wings, in the chariots when the ICBM missiles and all chaos starts breaking loose with those thermonuclear missiles. Verse 6, "And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore I will offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing. Yeah, I will sing praises unto the Lord." And so we're going to be rejoicing and singing praises unto the Lord. The Adawan. Verse 7, "Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me." So we're pleading. We're asking the Lord to be our shield and our buckler, our fortress and our refuge. We're asking him to hide us in those times of trouble. And that's our faith and that's our hope. And I want to say shalom to the Malak Dawam Lab, Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahushai, Barakatam to you, King. Then verse 7 reads, "Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me." Verse 8, "And when thou saidest, Seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, Thy face, Lord, will I seek." So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to seek his face. And we're going to continue to keep pushing and running this race with endurance, looking unto Hamashiach Yahushai, which is the author and finisher of our faith. And I want to say shalom to the Malak Yahweh coming in the chat. Yahweh Bashem, Hamashiach Yahushai, Barakatham to you and your household, Malak. Verse 9, "Hide not thy face far from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O Yahweh, of my salvation." And he actually said that he's never going to leave us nor forsake us. So these are this is the promises, and he's going to stay faithful to what he said. So all we have to do is stay obedient and, stay humble through this race that we're running. And it's not a sprint, it's a marathon that we're running. So we got to, that's a lot of people. They want to get instant gratification, but we got to remember that what he said through Peter, he said 1,000 years is like a day unto the Lord. So his timing is different than our timing. So it may seem like we've been in this fight for a long time, but to the Most High, it hasn't really been that long. So, but we're almost out of here. The book of Psalms, chapter 40, book of Psalms 40 and verse 17, and it reads, "But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinketh upon me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, O my Yahweh." So that's our prayer. That's what we need to put in our prayers. We want him to hear us and make no tarrying, for him to come back and do what he has to do to get us out of this captivity, because it, in our time, and it does seem like we've been afflicted a long time, and I know with the anointed son, Hamashiach Yahushua, who's seated on the right hand of the Heavenly Father. It's been, a couple days for him, when you look at it in the Most High's timing, but he's anxious to get up and take care of business, I'm sure. But, he can't do it until, that order comes from the Heavenly Father. The book of Luke, chapter 1, I'm going to read verse 48 to 52, and it reads, "For he hath regarded the low estate of his handmaiden. For behold, from henceforth all generations shall call me blessed. Verse 49, for he that is mighty hath done to me great things, and holy is his name. Verse 50, and his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. That, I read that precept in 50, sounds like what Peter said, how he said his eyes is over the righteous and his ears is attentive to their prayers, but the Lord's face is against all those that do evil. So he's going to come after all his adversaries. And I see that precept that Thawam La put up. Let me bring that out for you. Psalms 55, verse 22, it says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Khan, that's it. He's going to always he's going to stay faithful and keep his promises that he made. The oath he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's not going to forget it. He's going to keep the oath. And then verse 51 says, he has showed strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the imaginations of their hearts. So this is what he's going to do with all these people that's so pompous and arrogant. He's going to take care of all them. They're all getting ready to come off of that power seat. And that's what he's doing as we continue on doing what we're doing, staying steadfast. He's bringing them down. Verse 52, he had put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. So all the ones that are humble, he's going to lift us up in due season, because he said he resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So all we got to do is just stay humble in this. Psalms chapter 8 and verse 3 through 5, then it reads, when I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou visited him? Verse 5, for thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. So the Lord, he made us and put us in a position, but we have to understand, for the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is a Mashiach Yahushai. I'm just paraphrasing. For the head of the woman is the man, Corinthians. And the head of the man is a Mashiach Yahushai. And the head of Mashiach Yahushai is Yahweh. So we have this order that he put us, he set things in order. But he made us a little lower than the angels, he said, and he crowned man with glory and honor. The book of Psalms, chapter 105. Book of Psalms, chapter 105. And I'm going to read verse 8. And it reads, he hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. So listen to that good news. What he put down from the foundation of the world, that's not going to change. These people, they trying to, trying to keep their rulership and their kingdom going. And Esau didn't want it anyway. We all know the history, how he sold the birthright and tried to say Jacob stole it, but he didn't want it from the beginning, but now he wants it. Now he wants his kingdom to continue on, but it's not going to happen according to these scriptures. Ephesians chapter 5, going to Apostle Paul. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15 through 17, and it reads, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So we got to make sure, our calling and election is sure, and we got to redeem the time that we're in. We got to, make haste and delay not to keep his commandments to the best of our ability. Verse 17, wherefore, Salakia, wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So understanding what is the will of the Lord David said it in Psalms 40 and verse 7, I believe. How he said, I delight to do thy will, O my God, Yahweh. He said, thy law is within my heart. So we have to do the laws to the best of our ability. We know we can't keep all of them, especially in our captivity. We can't keep every single one, but we have to do it to the best of our ability. Book of James, chapter 4, and I'm going to read verse 6 through 8. And it reads, "But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble." Verse 7, "Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." So all the ones that are proud and pompous, he's going to bring them off their pedestal. But he wants us to stay humble, because he said he resists the proud and gives grace to the humble. Verse 8, it says, "Draw near to Yahweh, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded." So how do we cleanse our way? He said it in Psalms, I believe 105, in that chapter. He said, "How does a young man cleanse his way? Wherewithal, how can a young man cleanse his way?" He said, "By taking heed according to thy word." I'm just paraphrasing that precept. But then in John 15:3, he says, "You've already been made clean just by the words that I've given you." So these words, they cleanse us up. Now I'm going to the book of Psalms 25 and verse 9. Psalms chapter 25 and verse 9. I'm going to get that precept for you, Malak Dawam. Psalms 25 and verse 9, and it reads, the meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way." So the ones that are humble, he's going to teach them, and we're going to be able to guide. He's going to be our guide. And he actually said in Proverbs, I believe chapter 3, how he said to lean not on to your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct our path. So he'll lead us and guide us. And I see, let me get that one with the Dawam Law, Matthew 23 and 12. And it reads, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. That's right. So all the ones that see Esau, he put himself up as this mighty man. That's what he did by killing and stealing, taking everyone's resources and destroying destroying their land, and then just taking all their resources, and he put himself up. But now the Lord is taking him off of that pedestal. So yeah, that's a mighty precept, and that's red letter right there. I'm gonna go to, where did I leave off at? I was in Psalms 25. Oh, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 through 10. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 through 10, and it reads, "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh." So this is a gift. Just being able to know this truth is a gift from the Most High. It's not something we did on our own. That's why he said, "You did not choose me," in John 15, "but I have chosen you and appointed you that you should go out and bear fruit, and that your fruit remain." So this was a gift from him. And then verse 9, "Not of works, lest any man should boast." See, it's not about the works, but it's faith and works. Like James said, faith without works is dead. So they go hand in hand. Verse 10, "For we are his workmanship, created in Hamashiach Yahushua unto good works, which Yahweh had before ordained that we should walk in them." So this was something that he did before the foundation of the world. He chose us, and that's a beautiful thing to know that he chose us out of all these nations. It was 18 nations, and he chose Yasharallah. And then there's still a lot of stiff-necked Israelites. There's a lot of them that don't want to hear it. 2/3 of them don't want to hear it. The book of James, chapter 4 and verse 10. The book of James, chapter 4 and verse 10, and it reads, "Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So that's why we have to stay humble. Just stay humble. He's going to lift us up in due season. You know, it's just a matter of time before we get to our back to our proper state. The book of Second Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14, and it reads, "If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land." So that's the good news, you know, for Yasharallah. You know, he said he's going to, as long as we're seeking his face, and that's what we're doing on a daily basis. We're seeking him. And he said in Baruch, you know, he said, since it was our mind to go astray from him, returning, we need to seek him 10 times more. So that's what we're doing. We're seeking him 10 times more. The book of 1 John, chapter 1 and verse 8. Book of 1 John, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it reads, "If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us." And I'm just going to read down. Verse 9. "If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness." And then verse 10, "If we say that we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us." So this is about humility. You know, anybody that says, no, I didn't do that. The Lord can't deal with a person like that. Keep saying no. He likes someone that's humble and with a contrite spirit, because people that are always saying, no, I don't need no help. They can be someone that has a problem drinking, but they keep saying, no, I don't have a drinking problem. Well, they can't get no help. Somebody that's addicted to drugs, they keep saying, oh, I don't have no problem. Well, they can't get no help. Well, that's how it is with the Most High. People keep saying they don't have no problem. They just keep fighting against them. That's pride. And he said he resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So he won't help them because they're too pumped up and arrogant. And Shalom to the Malak La'ab coming in the chat. Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai Barakatham to you, King. So it's about humility, about us staying humble in this thing, because it's not about us. You know, we are actually debtors to him. Like he said in Romans chapter 8, we're debtors to a Mashiach for what he did for us. It's not even about us anymore. It's about him. Going to the book of, thinking of Romans, I'm going to Romans chapter 3, and I'm going to read verse 23, and it reads, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh." So we've all sinned. And then, you know, that's why I had to bring out 1 John. If we say that we have not sinned, then we make him a liar, because he already knows everything anyway. So we gotta come clean. We gotta come clean. Everybody that's guilty, you can't hide from him, because his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding the most secret parts, it says in Sirach chapter 23. So we can't hide. And Shalom to the Malak Enos coming in the chat. Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai Barakatham to you too, King. So, if you know, the thing is, we just have to be humble, and we have to have a contrite spirit, and we can't do it without him, because he actually said that in John 15. He said, I'm actually going to go there real quick. I'm going to go to John 15, because we can't do it without him. And that's, you know, he wants humility. That's what he wants. All the ones that stay pompous and arrogant, he can't help them. You know, the ones that are like that. Let me read. I'm going to start at verse 1 in John 15. He says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth much fruit." Then verse 3, "Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you." This is what I had to bring out earlier to go with that Psalms. How he said, "Wherewithal will a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to thy word." And then verse 4 says, "Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. No more can you except you abide in me. See, we can't do it without him. He says, I am, verse 5, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. See, there it is. We can't do it without him. So this is not on our own accord. This is through Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, walking in unison with him. That's how we're able to do it. It's not anything of our own accord. Leviticus chapter 19. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 18, and it reads, Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. You know why I put this precept in here? Because a lot of the people of our nation, they don't do this. They're all going at each other. But he said we're not supposed to hold a grudge against each other. We're supposed to love each other, love our neighbor as ourselves. But they're doing this. This goes back in the law. And Yahweh Shai was saying this too in the gospel when he said we have to love the Lord our God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our mind. And then he said to love your neighbor as yourself. So it was the same thing. He was going back to the law. So it didn't change. So, I have to pray harder. And I encourage all the brothers to keep praying harder for all the, nation of Yasharallah to do this. And the Aquas too, because this is talking about all of us. The book of Luke, I'm going to go to chapter 18, and I'm going to read verse 10 through 14. Book of Luke, and I passed Luke, chapter 18 and verse 10 through 14, and it reads, 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. Verse 11, the Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Yahweh, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. Verse 12, I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. Verse 13, and the publican standing afar off would not lift up as much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Yahweh, be merciful to me, a sinner. Then 14 says, I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. So this was an example that, see, the Lord, he has no respect of person. He trieth the reins and the hearts. So he knows what's going on in people's hearts, which is the mind. And Malak Thawam Lab had brought this out in Matthew, the same precept, how those that exalt themselves are going to be abased, and those that humble themselves will be exalted. So that's why I had to put this in, because this lesson is about staying humble. Now I'm going to the book of Micah chapter 6 and verse 8. And it reads, He has showed thee, O man, what is good, and what the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God Yahweh. So this is what he wants us to do. He said, to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God Yahweh. So that's what he wants. He wants us to stay humble and, have a contrite spirit. Just stay humble through this marathon we're running. We're almost at the end. We can see the warning signs, but we need to just stay humble. Just stay humble until the end, because the Lord, he's our works are not in vain. He says his reward is with him. He's going to come quickly. I'm paraphrasing Revelation. And he said his reward is with him, and he's going to give every man according as their works shall be. So with that, I hope this was just a quick lesson the Lord put on my spirit to bring out. I hope this lesson was exhorting and edifying and comforting to everyone. And I want to say the Wada Abanawa for, another day to be able to bring out this word and to help, with the body. He said one body with many parts, everybody doing their part. You know, like Paul was saying in Corinthians, he said, the hand can't say to the foot, I have no need of you. So we all need each other to make up the body of Hamashiach Yahushai. And with that, I want to say peace and salutations, the water to all the Malachium that came in, all the Aquats. I want to say peace and salutations to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Elder Sagalah and Elder Yawakal, and all the hopeful elect. I want to say peace and salutations again. Shalom.